Let's start this party Friday night in Syracuse, and it's the Syracuse Mets taking on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders for Game 5 of the series. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the Visit Syracuse broadcast booth. Joe Puccio, Jack Gordon with you. Tonight's a fun one, Joe. We really get to put things in perspective on National Cancer Survivors Night, where you really get to see, these are the people that have fought really hard, and tonight's kind of bigger than baseball.
These are the true stars. I mean, we talk about these amazing athletes day in and day out, but there is truly nothing that can contend with the fight against cancer. So this is a very special night. We expect a packed house today, and it should be a very wholesome night at the ballpark.
Yeah, so fun to celebrate those who have fought hard. There was a lot of celebrating last night in Syracuse. So the Mets taking on the Rail Riders. Game 4 of the series was yesterday. It was a fun one. Got started with Xavier Curry on a roll pretty early.
I really liked what I saw at Xavier Curry. His longest start of the season, 5 innings and 2/3. Mets haven't had a start like this in a couple of weeks, so it was nice to see the starter get deep.
He was sharp, but in the top of the third, Rail Riders got to him. It was an Oswaldo Cabrera RBI single that put them on the board, 1-0. Same result in the 4th inning. Another run on the board.
Yeah, Tyler Hardman has home runs in back-to-back games, now truly looking the part in AAA after getting called up from AA just a couple of weeks ago.
But we mentioned Francisco Alvarez is in the building. He's shown some good offense this week, rehabbing the torn meniscus. How about the defense? He's been stellar.
2 for 2, caught stealing. That's Duke Ellis. Leads the league in stolen bases. Made him look slow.
Mets down 2-0 early. Christian Arroyo ties it with a big 2-run blast and brought Syracuse back into this ballgame. He's been one of the best hitters in this whole league.
That's easy power going right into center field.
9th inning, all tied up. Christian Pache starts it off with a single. Tough ball for Lombard to carry at shortstop, so he represents the winning run with Matt Rudick, the 9-hitter, the hero last night.
I mean, Matt Rudick has really exploded over these last 5 games. A guy called up from AA Binghamton just to simply be a substitute outfielder, and he has had to be a starting quarter outfielder for this team. Comes up in a huge way to win a game in a series.
Yeah, outperforming expectations,
for sure.
Is Matt Rudick. A guy with some high expectations. Jack Wenninger gets the start tonight for Syracuse. Last time out against Rochester, he came out of the bullpen, 4 innings, and it was up and down.
Yeah, that was a new role for Jack Wenninger. Never came out of the bullpen before. Pitching in bulk, it started off with a home run to Seaver King. This was the very first batter he saw. That ball was hit straight into center field. Looked like, oh boy, it's going to be one of those Jack Wenninger outings. But he found himself, got strikeouts in the middle part of that outing, I should say. And Wenninger started to look more and more like himself. But towards the end of his outing, gave up RBI singles in the 7th. You see that ball get right by Christian Pache, a real tough blow for him. But up and down out of the bullpen. His last 3 appearances have truly been down in Jack Wenninger's book. But his first 7 outings before that, he was one of the best pitchers in this league.
Yeah, following a 16 2/3 scoreless streak, Wenninger hasn't been himself. 10 earned runs over his last 11 2/3. So we'll see what Jack Wenninger we get tonight, because those full season numbers are tremendous. That's the 4th best earned run average of anyone in the IL that's pitched at least 40 innings. The Mets very excited about Jack Wenninger, 5th-ranked prospect in their system, a former 6th-round pick 3 years ago out of Illinois. Wenninger's taking on a pretty solid lineup with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. It starts with the Yankees' #1 prospect in George Lombard Jr., and then a new face this week, their former top prospect.
Yeah, a familiar face. We saw him when he was just a AAA rostered player, but Jason Dominguez begins a major league rehab with Scranton Wilkes-Barre today. Marco Luciano, fresh off the injured list, bats 3rd. A regular Yankee from years past, Oswaldo Cabrera in the cleanup spot. And then a lot of faces we've seen this week. Tyler Hardman, Seth Brown, Kennedy Corona, Duke Ellis. Tough bottom part of the order, and Abraham Gutierrez, called up from AA today, starts at behind the plate.
Here's the defense behind Jack Wenninger today. Matt Rudick in left field, Nick Morabito in center, Christian Pache in right, Andy Ibanez, the 3rd baseman, Jackson Clough at short, Yanni Hernandez playing second base today, Christian Arroyo's at first, and Francisco Alvarez on Major League rehab behind the plate. Expected to see Francisco Alvarez catch for about 7 innings or so while he gets back from this torn right meniscus. Bright and sunny here in Syracuse, a hot one today as Jack Wenninger toes the rubber against Lombard. The tall right-hander stares him down. He winds up and fires. First pitch is in. Just high, ball 1. Went with a fastball to start things off. Top of the first inning, Game 5 of the series. Mets and Rail Riders have won 2 apiece. 1-0, grounded to third. Ibanez fields on a hop, throws it to first. Little high, but Arroyo's got it. 1 away.
Well, don't take your eyes off of the playing surface today, because both Jack Wenninger and Brendan Beck pitch efficiently, and they pitch quickly.
Well, Jack Wenninger has flown through this Mets system. Spent all of last season with Double-A Binghamton. Earned run average under 3 in 26 starts. Here's Jason Dominguez, the switch-hitting DH. Also on big league rehab, just like Alvarez. First pitch in for a strike. Drops in a sweeper. But Dominguez last played on May 7th. While making a catch in the outfield, crashed into the wall with the Yankees. 0-1. Up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. So while making that catch, great play, crashed into the wall. He sprained his AC joint in his left shoulder, was carted off the field, and this is his first game back. 1-1 pitch. Dominguez takes ball 2 outside. And for him, well, there's a lot on his shoulders to get back, to get healthy, and to be a strong contributor to the big league club because Aaron Judge just landed on the IL. 2-1 pitch. Dominguez fouls it back.
Yeah, there is an Aaron Judge-sized void right now in the Yankees outfield. And the thinking is, if Dominguez plays a couple of rehab games, rejoins the Yankees in a week or a week and a half, he can be a regular starter up in the Bronx, which he's really never had the opportunity to do.
2-2 pitch. Dominguez hits it in the air to center field. It sends Morabito jogging back. He parks under it and makes the catch. 2 gone.
Also, the Yankees are without Giancarlo Stanton, who is continuing a running program at Yankee Stadium, so Yankees could have a couple of options, but New York really wants to get Dominguez back.
Which means it's a good test for Wenninger, who's probably going to see him a couple times today. Syracuse in the Friday night black jerseys today, with Syracuse across the chest in blue letters, orange and white outline. First pitch, Marco Luciano takes a bouncing slider. 1-0. White pants for the Mets, black caps with the blue S logo, orange outline. For the Rail Riders, it's the Road Grays. Rail Riders arced across the chest in red letters. 1-0. Luciano grounds it past the mound. Shortstop Clough has it, throws from the outfield grass and makes the play. 1-2-3 inning for Jack Wenninger to start this ball game. We go to the bottom of the first with no score here in Syracuse. Mets taking out their bats for the first time today, and it starts with Nick Morabito and then a pair of Major League rehabbers.
Loaded lineup. Jorge Polanco DHs. Francisco Alvarez does the catching. And then below them, there's tough outs everywhere because Matt Rudick, who's in the 9th spot, hit a walk-off hit last night. So got to pay attention to everybody.
Mets took a 3-2 victory, walk-off fashion, to tie the series at 2 last night. Here's Brendan Beck. Righty winds up and throws. First pitch to Morabito, crank to third. Hardman's right there to make the catch. Oh, he smoked that ball, but is right at the third baseman, Tyler Hardman. 1 away.
The sport is cruel, I tell you. Here is the defense for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Left to right in the outfield. Kennedy Corona, Duke Ellis, and Oswaldo Cabrera starts in right field. Hardman at third, George Lombard at short, Marco Luciano at second, Seth Brown over at first. Abraham Gutierrez does the catching for Brendan Beck.
First pitch to Jorge Polanco. His ball just above the letters. 1-0. Jorge Polanco on Major League rehab for a couple different things. A right wrist contusion and left Achilles bursitis. 1-0. Takes the ball inside. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 away, bottom of the first. No score between the Mets and Rail Riders. Polanco landed on the 10-day IL on April 18th for the wrist injury. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Achilles bursitis, that's something that's been lingering and sounds like will continue to do so as well. He's going to have to play through that pain for most of the year. It's not really something that fades away in a week. 2-1 the count. Beck fires. Polanco takes a strike. Slider that drops at the knees. 2-2. Achilles bursitis is inflammation of a bursa near the Achilles tendon. A weird injury you don't hear a lot about. 2-2. Polanco foul tips a curveball. The bursa is a small fluid It's a fluid-filled sac that helps reduce friction between the tendon, bone, and skin in the ankle. So a nagging injury that you feel every time you push off or, try to use any power in your lower body. He's playing through it, working his way back to Queens. 2-2 taken upstairs, full count.
Yeah, bursitis can affect swelling in your foot or ankle, trouble walking, pain when you just stand up. Imagine playing baseball on it.
Big league vet battling through it. 3-2 pitch. Polanco gets a piece of the slider, staying alive. Big league at bat for Jorge Polanco, the man who signed a 2-year, $40 million deal with the Mets this offseason. A 32-year-old from the Dominican Republic who's played 13 years in the bigs. 3-2 pitch. Polanco grounds it foul again. We're headed for pitch number 9.
And through these 3 rehab games with Syracuse, still looking for his first hit, but he turned an incredible double play over at first base, which is something that Mets fans like to see maybe even more so than his bat right now, because he proved he could play first.
A guy who hasn't played first base in his career until this season with the Mets, usually a middle infielder with both the Twins and the Seattle Mariners in his first 12 seasons. 3-2 pitch, low and inside. He takes the curveball for ball 4. So with 1 out, Jorge Polanco works the first walk of the game, presented by Syracuse.com. Like the ballpark, Syracuse.com connects our community with the stories we share. Stay connected with Syracuse.com. So with 1 out, there's a runner at first, and another big league rehabber coming up to bat. The 24-year-old catcher, Francisco Alvarez. Bright pink batting gloves, pink elbow guard, pink cleats, and a bright personality for a great young man. Back set, he throws. Alvarez lays off a ball outside. Brendan Beck, another guy with a bright future. 27-year-old who's currently ranked as the 21st Yankees prospect on MLB.com in their top 30. 1-0 pitch. Alvarez lifts it high in the air, deep left center field. Ellis goes back, he's under it, and he makes the catch. 2 away. Always got to be aware Francisco Alvarez lifts the ball into the outfield. He's got limitless power, but held into the ballpark now for these 2 games.
Well, that's why Francisco Alvarez was one of the top international free agent signings as a catcher, because he can certainly catch, but catchers who can hit are so valuable in baseball nowadays, and you see that raw power from Alvarez there, even though it results in an out.
Saw some power from Arroyo last night at the game-tying 2-run homer. Beck tosses. Arroyo grounds it over to third. Diving stop. Hardman pops up, throws to first, and it's in time to end the inning. How about the Quick Change Act here in Syracuse, New York? Changing clothes faster than Joe Puccio changes his mind at an Italian restaurant.
Oh, that would be a lie, my friend.
Chicken parm?
Chicken parm,
okay.
98 on the black every time. That's incredible.
These people have put on 12 different outfits in about 45 seconds.
And the Mets are waiting to play now. They still have to change their outfits.
I will say, day like this, 84 degrees, sun's been out all day. This is the kind of day that you probably need 10 different outfits.
Yeah,
if you're
that's
outside.
right.
Well, that's the Quick Change Act, and this is the top of the second inning at NBT Bank Stadium. Oswaldo Cabrera, switch-hitting right fielder, bats cleanup. He leads off for the Rail Riders. Scoreless ball game between Syracuse and Scranton Wilkes-Barre. After the Quick Change Act was, not particularly quick. Here's Jack Wenninger, second inning of work. Winds up and fires. First pitch outside, ball 1. Great first inning for Jack. Retired the side in order. All balls put in play, and only took him 8 pitches. 1-0. Cabrera takes a looping sweeper outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Wenninger, we've seen some really high highs. I mean, after the month of April, his ERA was under 2. Even after a few more starts in May, it was as well. 2-0. Fouled back. 2 balls and a strike. Last few outings, though, we've seen some ups and downs. He hasn't thrown as many strikes. He's given up hard contact. 3 homers in his last 2 starts. but there's just some small changes, it feels like, to Wenninger to get back in shape. 2-1 up high, ball 3.
And over these last 3 starts, there's only one outing where he threw more balls than strikes. It was on May 17th in Scranton, so this team eventually found the riddle to him, but Wenninger's still throwing primarily strikes.
4th start for Wenninger against Scranton this season. 3-1 laced into right center field. Pache sprints in. It bounces in front of him. Oswaldo Cabrera leads off the second with a line drive single.
Batting 5th, the third baseman, number 36.
Got a fastball a couple inches low, so Cabrera's at first, and Brendan Miller's on the sideline with our Chick-fil-A check-in.
Yeah, that's right, guys. The big story in Mets land has been Jorge Polanco coming down here in Syracuse for his rehab start. And as you mentioned, coming back from a few different injuries, one of which the Achilles bursitis is just something that he's going to try and play through as the season goes and continues. Well, the news in Mets land was the fact that Polanco would not be coming up. There were some rumors that maybe he would join the team in San Diego on Friday. However, that he's going to stick around in Syracuse for just a little bit longer. That's according to the New York Post's Mike Puma earlier today, so we get to watch him just a little bit longer here in the Salt City.
Well, Brennan, I know you were a ball player back in the day. You ever have to play through any injuries? You ever have to go onto the knife?
All right, ready? You set me up for this one. It's right. I don't know if I'm on camera or not, but
there
right
you
here,
are.
Yeah.
that is a fastball to the forearm.
Ouch.
Whoa.
Shattered the arm and then had to get 2 metal rods, but played 2 innings with the arm in 2 pieces.
Wow.
So,
And you lived to tell the tale.
Lived to tell the
and
tale.
become our sideline reporter through it all.
Michael Jordan's flu game has nothing on you.
You're right. And shout out to my shortstop, Tyler Rotach, for coming over to catch a pop fly that I couldn't lift my glove to make the catch on when I was, X one elbow.
Basket catches only for Brennan. Thank you so much. And so Cabrera's at second, Hardman at first after a ground ball bobbled by Yanni Hernandez. Not an easy play, but it puts 2 men on base with nobody out in the second. Goes down as a fielding error for Yanni, E4. 2 on, nobody out. Seth Brown up to bat. So good to see Brennan's healthy now. That sounds like a gruesome injury. First pitch is high, ball 1.
I can't believe he still has the scar.
Yeah. You see it, it's like, did Brennan have Tommy John?
Yeah.
Then you realize it's on the other side.
Have you ever had to deal with a catastrophic injury?
Huh. No. Thankfully not. Stitches a couple of times. 1-0. That's up high, ball 2. Runner stay put. Snow coned in and out of Alvarez's glove. Stitches, I got bit by a dog when I was really young.
That's scary.
I still love dogs, though. What about you? Any broken bones or anything?
I've never broken a bone in my life. Not one. So I
Knock
got
on
beamed.
wood.
I got beamed once.
Okay. Your frame
actually-
does not allow for a comfortable beating. So
Yeah, no, I'm a $120 soaking wet. But Gage Zeal, currently a Boston Red Sox pitching prospect. I faced him off in Little League. First time I ever got beamed was by him. So imagine a guy who's going to play professional baseball beans you with a fastball.
You took 56 right on the shoulder.
Oh,
you
it was
lived to tell the tale.
Right between the shoulder blades. I had an eggplant on my back for about 3 weeks.
So Francisco Alvarez, quick chat with Wenninger. A good move by him. Sometimes catchers will wait until after a plate appearance or a couple hits and a walk. Alvy goes out there in the middle of this at-bat with Seth Brown to let Jack Wenninger know he's all right. 2 balls, no strikes. A little bit of traffic here in the second inning. How does Wenninger work around it? He throws. Brown takes a sweeper up high. So command, the number one thing we're looking at heading into this start for Jack Wenninger. It's not that the walks have been catastrophic, but it's been the most of his career. 3-0. That's a sinker up high. 4-pitch walk to Seth Brown, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out. 5 walks per 9 for Jack Wenninger, and sometimes the command is inside the strike zone as well. Seeing a couple pitches over the middle of the plate that have been hit hard, but feels like he's just a couple inches away on the corners of the plate to getting back into his stride. Bases loaded for Corona. First pitch inside, ball 1.
22 pitches, only 8 strikes.
Not throwing as hard as typically does as well. Fastball low 90s. 1-0 pitch. That's in there. Called strike. Sinker at 91. This is the kind of hitter you attack, too. 189 average for Corona.
Yeah, not a power threat. He's speedy to get on the bases, but with the bases loaded, no outs this early in a game, why not attack?
Infield plays back. 1-1 pitch. Corona takes a sinker up high. 2 balls, 1 strike.
We caught up with Kevin Parada before the game, and he talked about Wenninger saying if his command is on, he's a big league arm. That's the main thing he's working on right now through this tiny rut.
2-1 pitch home. Ground ball to third. Ibanez fields, goes to second, gets one. Throw to first is in time for a double play. Oswaldo Cabrera comes in to score. 1-0 Rail Riders, but the Mets turn 2. Pitch to Duke Ellis. High, ball 1. 2 outs, top of the second. No score between the Mets and Rail Riders. You mentioned Jack Wenninger being a big league caliber arm. 7 starts into the season. He had a 1.08 ERA. There was a lot of chatter he might be the next man up. 1-0 pitch. Ellis thought about a swing. Called strike on a fastball. Even count 1-1.
It got to the point where we would talk off air and say, what would be the 40-man move to get Wenninger up?
Yeah,
because right now he's not even on the 40-man, but he was pitching so well that you had to think about how can he get to New York?
1-1 pitch. Ellis takes a strike. Great changeup by Wenninger. Works it over the inner third of the plate, and he's ahead 1-2. Feels like that's the name of the game, getting ahead in counts. A ball and 2 strikes on Ellis with Tyler Hardman at third base. 2 away and a chance to get out of this inning. 1-2 pitch. That's up high. Great catch by Alvarez to keep that from going to the backstop. 2-2.
At the end of April and the start of May, he worked 5 2/3, 6 innings, 5 innings. Right before this 3-game dry spell was some of his longer and best outings of the season.
He's capable of a lot. 2-2 pitch. Ellis hits it in the air, right center field. Morabito racing back. It gets to the warning track and bounces off the wall. Ellis sprinting for third. He's going to get in with ease. RBI triple for Duke Ellis. Makes it a 2-0 Rail Riders lead.
A changeup at the top of the zone beats Wenninger. And Duke Ellis, not known for his pop, says, I've got a little bit of it. Hits it into the right center field gap. And watching him run around the bases is like watching a gazelle. And he got from home plate to third base in split seconds.
Third triple of the season for Duke Ellis. It's 2-0 Rail Riders. Here's Abraham Gutierrez. First pitch, ground ball hits softly to third. Ibanez charges, throws to first, and ends the inning. RBI triple makes it a 2-0 ball game. Mets have some work to do in the bottom of the second. Back on a steamy night in Syracuse. 84 degrees, a little cloudy, with the sun poking through at NBT Bank Stadium. Andy Ibanez leads off the bottom of the second. Mets trail the Rail Riders 2-0. There was a double play. Ball hit by Kennedy Corona that allowed Cabrera to score. And then an RBI triple by Duke Ellis that made it 2-0. Ibanez leads off the bottom of the second against Brendan Beck. The right-hander twists and tosses home. Ibanez takes a strike, 0-1. Second inning of work for Brendan Beck. Let 1 man aboard in the first. A walk to Jorge Polanco. 0-1 pitch. Ibanez watches a slider low, 1-1. The Yankees drafted Beck in the second round 5 years ago out of Stanford. Originally hails from La Jolla, California. Stayed in the California area for college ball. 1-1 pitch. Ibanez pops it softly foul. 1-2. He's slowly worked his way up this Yankees system. Last year was a really strong one for him. Started in Double-A, had an ERA under 2 across 11 games. Bumped up to Triple-A where he kind of struggled. 4.5 ERA in 15 starts. 1-2 pitch. Ibanez lifts it down the right field line, tailing foul. Out of play. It feels like with Brendan Beck getting this year 2 in AAA, he's made a lot of adjustments.
He has, and it's earned him a spot on the Major League roster where he debuted against Texas on May 7th.
1-2 pitch. Ibanez lays off a splitter outside, 2-2.
He's a pitcher that doesn't overpower you, but he's very smart, Stanford education. He puts that knowledge to use. He understands what you're ready for at the plate, and he goes against it.
Holds the Brown Rawlings glove up high. Tosses. Ground ball hit to short. Backhand stop. Lombard throws on the run, and it's a good one. He puts away Ibanez for the first out. Athletic play by George Lombard Jr., who is known for his defense.
Well, Yankees general manager Brian Cashman has already raved about Lombard, saying his glove is major league ready. The bat has to get up there. His bat arguably is not even AAA ready right now, but it's starting to come as he's hit 2 home runs last week against Worcester, and he's had some offensive moments this week as well.
First pitch to Yanni, and Hernandez takes a called strike cutter. Well, here's a bat that is certainly AAA ready. It's been Major League ready in the past. Hernandez, since May 1st, is batting .333. He is on a heater. 0-1. Foul tips, 0-2. Hernandez, kind of a slow start to the season, very similar to last year, and he's just been heating up for about a month and a half now. 27-year-old whose season batting average is creeping up towards 300. Calls time before the 0-2. Now, he gave Tyler Hardman nightmares over at third base yesterday. 2 infield singles, a ball that went right over him. 3-hit night for Yanni. 0-2 from Beck. Hernandez chases a high cutter. That's strike 3. That's the first strikeout for Yanni Hernandez in his last 28 plate appearances.
Yeah, that's very unlike Yanni. He sees pitches that he likes to hit, and he makes contact with them, so Yanni's walking back to the dugout, which he's not used to doing.
First strikeout for Brendan Beck. Brings up Christian Pache. 2 down, bottom 2. First pitch. Pache, a slow swing. Didn't go around. He held up. First base umpire Derek Pacheco said no swing. Kellen Martin behind home. Charlie Welling, the crew chief, third base ump. 1-0. Pache rips it towards third, and it's a foul ball. Hardman chased, went right by his glove. Landed foul. 1 ball, 1 strike with Brendan Beck working efficiently. Christian Pache trying to break that up, just like he did yesterday against the Scranton bullpen. Had a single in the 9th inning, ended up scoring the game-winning run brought in by Matt Rudick for the walk-off RBI single.
And that single was huge for Pache because he's 1 for 10 on the week with 6 strikeouts.
See if he continues to take that momentum and run with it. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Pache calls time. Bright reddish-orange cleats twisting around in the right-handed batter's box. Open stance, holds the black bat over his right shoulder. 1-1 coming in from Beck. Pache takes a called strike. Sinker at 92, right down the middle.
That's Beck's hardest pitch. So if you can be ready for 92, that's a good thing. But the breaking stuff can really fool you.
Beck kicks and throws. Pache taps it foul, stays alive.
You know, that pitch, sinker versus the slider, 10-mile-per-hour difference. So these batters are deep in the batter's box, just trying to see the pitch as long as possible to just make contact.
Beck stares home, winds up and tosses. Pache takes a bouncing splitter, works a 2-2 count. No hits for the Mets off of Beck yet. 2 outs, bottom of the 2nd. It's 2-0 Syracuse deficit to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beck fires home. Pache swings and misses through a fastball. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks end the 2nd inning. Mets still trail at 2-0. Let's go to the 3rd. Gorgeous Friday night at NBT Bank Stadium. And a great one to celebrate. It is National Cancer Survivors Night, brought to you by Upstate Cancer Center. Hi, everybody. Joe Puccio, Jack Gordon, Koshal Nanavati with us in the broadcast booth. Koshal, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? I'm glad to be back.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah,
You're a rock
very
star
happy
in
to
this
have
booth.
That's right.
Top of the 3rd, Mets trail the Rail Riders 2-0. Jack Wenninger back on the mound against George Lombard Jr. First pitch home. That's inside, ball 1. So, Koshal, you guys are the sponsors of National Cancer Survivors Night. First of all, tell us, how this came about, how the Mets and Upstate Cancer Center created this big day in Syracuse.
Yeah, the last few years we've been coming here with the survivors, with the caregivers, and Jason Smorrell, I call him my brother from another.
Yeah.
We have a great relationship. Upstate Cancer Center has a great relationship. Dr. Bogart, who has been the head of our radiation oncology department, lifelong Mets fan. So I got to give a shout out to him. And so we've been able to work together to support the community together, right? It's been great.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Lombard. So, Koshal, you're the director of integrative medicine and survivorship at Upstate Cancer Center. Today is such a meaningful event in the community. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's up high for a ball. What does this celebration represent for the survivors and their families?
You know, for them, it's a moment of recognition, right? They've been through this journey that's been difficult, tremendously physically, emotionally, all of that. And then suddenly, it's an opportunity for us to say, hey, you know what? Not only do we see you, we appreciate your journey, and you honor us by being, here today, right? So for them, they actually give us hope more than anything else about how life can be. Even when you get a curveball that you might miss, there's another pitch coming.
Yeah.
Right? Life continues,
And there's support system around you. You got your catcher.
That's
You
right.
got your coaching staff.
That's exactly right. No one goes through it alone, right?
Ground ball hit to first. Arroyo Fields wins the race to the bag. Strikeout, ground out, 2 away in the 3rd.
So, Koshal, the word survivorship is in your title. What is survivorship? What does that actually look like after cancer treatment ends?
So what happens is when people are done with active treatment, a lot of times, you wonder, okay, now what? And that's where survivorship really starts. As a national thing, that's when it begins. And the point is teaching people how to live the rest of their life as the best of their life, right? And in the process, we talk about what they need to do to stay healthy, and at the same time, what do we need to do with symptoms that might come up, right? When you feel alone, lonely, the emotional strain that comes. So we support all of that as a team.
I've actually never thought of, after a cancer treatment ends, I've been to some ringing the bells ceremonies, but you have to live life after that.
That's right.
As a cancer survivor, which could be difficult.
It's sort of like what, Jordan and Kobe would say. You take the shot doesn't go in, life still goes on, the game's still going on.
That's right.
Get back in the game and play your best game, right?
Ball and a strike on Marco Luciano. Wenninger throws home. Taken down low, ball 2. Well, we know that Upstate cares for patients across central New York. What makes Upstate's Cancer Center unique?
Well, it's sort of like the Mets, right? We are the game in town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But realistically, the reason is because we take care of 17 counties. We are the premier cancer center, and we have other cancer programs in the community that are excellent as well. But the team that we have, right? We got a deep bench. So you've got your medical, surgical, radiation oncology, but then you got genetics, you got nutrition counseling, you got integrative medicine, we got psycho-oncology, financial counseling. So everything that a person needs housed in one place allows them to know that they're going to be cared about as a person while we focus on treating the cancer, right? Versus, we're caring about you versus just focusing on a cancer, right? You're more than that. Your life is more than that.
Right. It's not just a word and something that you carry with you. It's bigger than that. It's how it affects your mind and your family.
Absolutely.
That pitch inside, ball 4 with 2 outs. Marco Luciano works a walk.
Coach, well, there have been so many advances in cancer care in recent years. What gives you the most hope right now?
I mean, there are 3 domains, right? So I'll tell you, from the integrative medicine side, we're understanding more about the impact of nutrition, right, and lifestyle on not only preventing it, but how do you, when you go through the journey, how do you stay healthy throughout, right? But precision medicine, immune therapies, genomics, right? What we're starting to understand is that we can actually personalize it to the point where we can maximize the benefit of the treatment and limit the side effects, the potential harm, where before we used to just have a big, cannon going off and it affected your healthy cells as well. Now we can target cancer cells while leaving the healthy cells to do their thing.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Yes.
1-0 to Oswaldo Cabrera, up high, ball 2. So, clearly these doctors and scientists that have worked on this for so long have made recent advances in something like that. When have those types of medicine come about? Is that in the last 5 years, 2 or 3?
I would say that the last decade has seen an explosion.
Yeah.
And you could say every decade has seen an explosion, but clearly we've gotten to the point, especially in the last year or 2, with the advent of AI, I have a feeling that in the next 5 years we're going to have so much more accelerated development because we can work through scenarios so much faster.
That's exciting.
It's amazing.
All right, Coach, we'll see you in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll be right back. Mets trail at 2-0.
Taste New York is the official Eat Local, Drink Local program for New York State. Taste New York highlights the quality and diversity of food and beverages grown, produced, or processed in New York State. You can find a variety of these products at NBT Bank Stadium. When you have a choice, buy local.
Bottom of the third here in Syracuse. Mets trail the Rail Riders 2-0. Jackson Clough leads off against Brendan Beck, his third inning of work. Beck, the right-hander, winds up, throws. First pitch, swinging. Grounds it foul, first base side. All right, back in the Visit Syracuse broadcast booth, Joe Puccio, Jack Gordon. We're catching up with Dr. Koshal Nanavati, Director of Integrative Medicine and Survivorship at Upstate Cancer Center. It is National Cancer Survivors Day here at NBT Bank Stadium. Koshal, what have you thought of the day so far? And first of all, seeing a huge crowd, so many survivors in the building, what's that been like on your end?
It's amazing. I mean, the crowd is fantastic. The energy as I was walking through, the gratitude that people are showing, the recognition for survivors and caregivers, that people who may not even have cancer but are affected by it or know somebody that does, everyone is acknowledging each other. And I think that's the spirit of Syracuse. Honestly, in our town, people care about each other no matter what part of town they're from. And you can see it in the crowd. I think it's awesome.
0-2 pitch by Clough, hit foul. Koshal, what's the most inspiring part of National Cancer Survivors Day? Because, I mean, you get to chat with a cancer survivor, and it really puts everything in perspective. And maybe some people think there's things about their lives that are hard, but then you talk to somebody that's really gone through hell and back.
No, I agree. And actually, my father passed away of appendix cancer a couple of years ago, and my son had a tumor in his leg. So I've been the dad of and the son of, right? And so for me, to see the joy for somebody who's been through this dark and difficult journey, for the caregiver who doesn't even know what they can do. They want to just get it out of the person, but they can't. To see them celebrating today, to celebrating life, right? Relationship. Like, this is the stuff that makes you know that life can be good.
So how do you get through this? I mean, obviously, you've lost a father to cancer. So what's a message that maybe you were taught or something that you might have learned to help you get through the passing of your father or to keep going with this?
I think you celebrate the joy in versus begrudge the deficit in, right? And so, we have this moment. Can we optimize this moment, right? And then we have another day. Can we make the most of that day? And if we think about how do we pay it forward, if we're focusing on making a meaningful contribution, living a purposeful life, suddenly you're not worried about the potential lack of because you're focused on what you got now. Right, and that shifts everything for people.
Absolutely.
No balls and 2 strikes on Matt Rudick with 1 out. In the bottom of the third, Mets down 2-0 to the Rail Riders. Next pitch. Rudick swings and misses, strike 3. So 4 straight Ks for Beck. And there's 2 gone in the bottom of the third. Well, Koshal, your Mets have looked pretty solid this season here in Syracuse. Couple games over 500. Been a fun season so far.
I've been paying attention, and we've got some names that have come down from the Big E leagues. I wouldn't say come down. I said they've come to get better.
Yeah,
that's right.
In Syracuse, right? That's what it is. That's what we say. And today, I think as we start to get a little focused, I still got faith in our guys to pull it through.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Here's Nick Morabito. Is it fair to you kind of feel like a coach in your role at Upstate? Does it feel that way for you?
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, you think about it. Jordan had a coach. Kobe had a coach. Right, Don Mattingly had a coach, right? Mariano Rivera had a coach. Sorry to get some Yankees in there. But the point is, we all can benefit. Athletes have coaches. In cancer, the coaching that you get from the healthcare team is a wonderful thing. In life, we all can benefit from that.
Ground ball hit to third. It retires Morabito. Dr. Koshal, thank you so much for coming by. We love having you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
4th inning coming up.
We're starting the top of the 4th inning. Scooch always clearing the competition, but today's competition is someone that we know pretty well.
Was that Mr. Incredible in the back?
I think it might have been the man who took a fastball to his elbow. Brennan Miller does everything at this ballpark, including losing races. We'll have to talk to him about that in the 7th inning for sure. 2-0 Scranton. Jack Wenninger out for his 4th inning of work, and the first pitch to Hardman, lined back to the screen foul. It's 0-1. Well, Jack, we just wrapped up talking with Dr. Koshal Nanavati from Upstate Cancer Center. What a treat to have him in the booth, and what an inspiring night here at the ballpark. Wenninger's 0-1 pitch. Grounded left side. Diving stop Ibanez. Gets to his feet, throws. Got him in time. Ibanez flashing the leather at the hot corner. He's done that day in and day out. That is a stellar first out of the inning.
That was a beauty, no doubt about it. He barely got to that ball, popped right up, made the perfect throw. There's so many small things you have to do correctly on a diving play like that. Got to get to your feet quickly. Transfer has to be perfect. Throw does too. He did all of it.
Wenninger gets a little help from his defense as the first pitch to Seth Brown outside for ball one.
Joe, you said it. National Cancer Survivors Day. It's inspiring because it puts things in perspective, getting to talk to and see people that have battled as hard as anyone.
The pitch. Miss outside, ball two.
And we talk about battling in sports or coming back from an injury.
Call is the ball. Catcher is challenging.
All right, Francisco Alvarez thinks that pitch is a strike, and that pitch is nowhere close. Syracuse loses its first challenge.
Has one challenge remaining.
You know, those kinds of words we use in sports, you know, they pale in comparison to an actual fight against cancer. And to see so many people at this ballpark who beat it and are smiling all the way.
The 2-0 pitch is popped up, drifting to the outfield. In center field, Nick Morabito gets under it, and he makes the catch on a skyscraper fly ball, 2 down.
That's really cool to see. Just like Koschel said, it doesn't have to be terminal anymore. And you know, the fight, the battle it's all about your attitude before, during, and after, and how you're able to conquer it and not let it beat you as a person.
Very special night at the ballpark. This attendance number might clear any of the numbers we've had this week, and it's been a great week for attendance at NBT Bank Stadium. 2 up, 2 down for Kennedy Corona. First pitch. The righty taps it foul. Goes into the seats, making it 0-1. 2-0 Scranton. Both Rail Rider runs coming in the second inning. A double play brought in Oswaldo Cabrera, and then an RBI triple from Duke Ellis scored Tyler Hardman all the way from first. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it is 0-2. Jack Wenninger up to 53 pitches and a season ERA of 2.59. Entered today with a 2.80. Shakes off the first sign from Alvey. And now the 0-2. Fastball up, ball one. How cool would it be to see these two as a battery up in New York? I don't think we're too far away from that happening.
They'd fit so well together. Wenninger, calm, cool, collected. Alvarez, always so bubbly.
White glove to the face. Black alternates on for Syracuse today. Wenninger's 1-2. Got him. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Foul tipped into the mitt. You can go on the road with NBT Bank wherever life takes you. Your NBT Bank debit and credit cards keep you moving securely and conveniently. Temporarily disable your debit card in the app or on desktop if it's lost or misplaced. The namesake of this ball yard, NBT Bank Stadium. Bottom of the fourth inning. Home Mets coming up to the plate, trailing 2-0 to Scranton. But starting off this inning are two New York Mets. Jorge Polanco digs in against Brendan Beck in the first pitch. Ground ball to first, easily fielded by Brown, who says, "I'll step on the base." 1 pitch, 1 out. And Jorge Polanco 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out today. The next New York Met is Francisco Alvarez, who is playing in his 3rd rehab game with Syracuse. Jack, it was a really good rehab game in Game 1. It didn't have a hit in yesterday's contest, had 3 strikeouts, but he's been flashing his glove in both games. Back in the windup, first pitch. It's a strike, and Alvarez just swung through after the fastball went in.
Well, he knew it was in there. It was a strike all the same.
Brown glove to the face. Here's the pitch. And Alvarez takes this time 1-1.
You know, Joe, I think any rehab game where Alvarez or Polanco comes on the other side healthy is a successful rehab game, especially for a guy in Alvarez who's catching.
The pitch. Fly ball, hooking towards the seats. It's foul, making it 1-2.
Now, Joe, it's telling that Francisco Alvarez, just a few weeks after tearing his meniscus, caught yesterday. He's back in the lineup, catching again today. If he was a DH or if he needed the day off or wasn't feeling well, then we probably wouldn't call it that successful start of a rehab. But he's looking so healthy.
And he has the right attitude, too. Beck deals. Foul tipped in and out of Gutierrez's glove. Alvarez checks on his fellow catcher. Counts 1-2 still. He shows up to the field with a smile on his face. He's chirping back and forth with his teammates and batting practice. He just loves being here. Beck trying to sit him down. He hikes the left leg and goes downhill. Alvarez grounds it to third. Couple hops to Hardman, who wings it across the diamond. And, Alvarez gets out there, but he spikes the bat running down the baseline, showing that he's still got that fire in him right now.
Yeah, he does. He's not taking a AAA game any more lightly than the major leagues.
So 2 up, 2 down in the fourth inning. It paves the way for the ABM Industries cleanup hitter of the game, Christian Arroyo. ABM, the preferred janitorial services provider of the Syracuse Mets. 2-0 Rail Riders, bottom of the fourth. First pitch from Beck. Fastball high for ball one.
One more point I want to make about Alvarez.
Yeah, sure.
He hasn't faced Garrett Cole and Max Fried this week, but, he's been tested. He got to play against Elmer Rodriguez and Brendan Beck, who have both been in the majors this year.
The 1-0. Fastball rises. We're seeing this more in AAA, where pitchers are being recycled. It's like a game of musical chairs in the big leagues. So there are major league arms down here in AAA.
Yes, that's what those kind of guys are.
2-0. Arroyo takes a strike on the outer third. It's 2-1 with a fastball.
Like on the other side for Jason Dominguez on rehab, he gets a good test in Jack Wenninger today. It's a big difference in facing a guy like Wenninger versus single A or high A type competition.
Beck fires. Rolls to the backstop foul, 2-2.
Guys come to AAA for rehab because it is the best possible talent you're going to see in the minor leagues before you get to the majors.
A lot of rehabbers in this lineup today on both sides. 2-2 from Beck. Off the end of the bat, Arroyo stays alive. Now, let's bring up this situation, too. Brendan Beck, who's played just one game in the big leagues, is going up against Christian Arroyo, who was a first-round draft pick years ago and has played 7 big league seasons. First-round pick of the Giants back in 2013. A lot of big league experience against Beck, who throws. And the pitch misses low, 3-2.
That's the thing, I think if the Yankees are looking at, how's Brendan Beck doing today? How'd he do against Polanco, Alvarez, Arroyo, major league caliber bats? And you take Christian Arroyo, a guy who's been mashing starters, hitting over 300 now. It's a good test for any young pitcher.
Beck laboring here. 7th pitch of the at-bat is low, ball 4. Christian Arroyo works himself a walk and keeps this 4th inning alive. Arroyo got robbed in his last plate appearance. He hit a ground ball over to third that Tyler Hardman made a diving stop on. Scorched off the bat, didn't get a hit for it. Now he's on base this time. Syracuse trying to cut into the 2-0 Scranton lead in the home fourth. Here is Andy Ibanez. Beck in the stretch. Throws home. Heater falls away from the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Similar situation here with Andy Ibanez. Over 400 major league games, totaling 6 seasons. Beck throws. Spoiled foul at the plate, making it 1-1. Ibanez has suited up for Texas, Detroit, the A's, and the Mets. 14 games this season, 11 with the A's, and 3 with the Mets. The rookie, Brendan Beck, collects, hands at his chest. He lifts and deals. Ibanez floats it behind the bag first base. There's a chance it could drop, and Seth Brown makes the basket catch to end the inning. Excellent grab by Scranton's first baseman to end the frame. Brendan Beck sees one over the minimum and keeps Syracuse scoreless through 4. Ellis leads off for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders to begin the top of the 5th inning. Meeting Francisco Alvarez at home plate. Rail Riders lead this thing 2-0. Jack Wenninger out for his 5th inning. From the windup, he deals. And a first pitch fastball at 94 misses high and away, ball 1.
You know what's cool? You got a big league catcher in the building. He's got all the big league catching gear, too. No matter what jerseys you're wearing, he's got something to match.
That's what money can buy you. The 1-0. Fly ball, deep left center field. Rudick, Morabito meet, and at the fence, it's gone! Duke Ellis has 2 extra base hits, a triple, and a homer. It is the Duke Ellis game on this Friday, June 5th. He leaves the yard for just the second time this year, and it's 3-0 Rail Riders.
Well, usually that high fastball plays pretty well for Wenninger, but Ellis must have just been sitting on it. It was an inch or two above the zone. He really got the barrel to the baseball.
Here's Abraham Gutierrez. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Duke Ellis heard that Aaron Judge was on the injured list and says, yeah, you know what, I'll be the power-hitting outfielder. Sure.
Yeah, it's a little different frame.
0-1 is ripped, a short drop by Clough, picks it up, throws to first, and he still gets the out. Whew! Well, Jackson Clough has been a sure hand at shortstop all season, even when he can't make the initial play. Sticks with it, gets the out at first.
Weird play. 105 off the bat. Clough definitely saw that thing rising, so he jumped. And he realized he didn't have to jump. It was hit right at his chest. I think that's why it fell out of his glove, but he recovered immaculately.
Jackson Clough getting in a ready position now because George Lombard Jr., the fellow shortstop, is at the plate. First offering to the righty. Upstairs, ball 1. Lombard's figuring it out at the plate. Came into the series hitting under 200. As Wenninger lifts and fires. Lined back to the netting, foul to make it 1-1. This week, Lombard is 3 for 11 with an RBI, so he's hitting .273. 5 walks to 2 strikeouts. The approach has always been there, but now the bat's starting to come around the zone. Pitch. Swing and a miss at a slider low and away makes it 1-2. Top prospect against top prospect right now. Yankees number 1 versus Mets number 5. Wenninger takes a deep breath. The 1-2 delivery. Chopper foul. The lights are on for this big moment at NBT Bank Stadium. Sun setting behind the left field grandstand. Field covered in shade on this warm night. Wenninger using up the whole pitch clock as he throws. And that's high. A changeup at 83, 2-2.
I think there's been some frustrating pitches for Wenninger at times when he has 2 strikes. He didn't execute that one the way he wanted to. After it got in the glove, he kind of gave a show in body language. He didn't love it.
2-2 coming. Low and away. Tried to get Lombard to fish. He doesn't go fishing often. Runs the count full. Lombard playing in his 33rd game with Scranton. Chokes up on the bat. Wenninger comes home. Fastball. Ball 4. Challenged by Alvarez.
Calls the ball. Catcher is challenging.
Alvarez thinks it's strike 3. This is a big challenge. And he got it. Top of the zone away to Lombard. He goes down looking. 2 outs. And the 3rd strikeout of the game for Jack Wenninger.
Perfect spot for a sinker up near 95 miles an hour. I love to see Wenninger throwing hard as this ball game progresses. His hardest pitch of the game came to end the 4th inning. Want to see more of that as this continues.
Facing off against a big league rehabber in Jason Dominguez. First pitch, tipped in and out of Alvarez's glove, strike 1. 3-0 Scranton in front. An opposite field home run from Duke Ellis, of all people. He has played a fantastic ball game today. Top of the 5th inning with 2 outs, the pitch. Outside, 1-1. Jason Dominguez, first rehab game. Recovering from his left shoulder AC sprain he suffered on May 7th. 0 for 2 on the day. Open stance, switch hitting lefty ready to go, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Aaron Boone, Yankees manager, said it'll be a few weeks. Dominguez had a tough crash into the wall as Jack painted back in that first inning. Made the catch, but he hasn't played a game since. Wenninger's 2-1 delivery. Makes it 2-2. And Jack, we saw him early in the season when he was on Scranton Wilkes-Barre's roster. He didn't make the Yankees opening day roster.
Yeah, a guy that has had to go up and down between AAA and the majors a lot.
Trying to stay alive in this fifth. 2-2 coming his way. And he skies it high on the infield. Who's got it? It's Yanni Hernandez, who makes a two-handed grab to end the inning. Solo homer from Duke Ellis makes Scranton a 3-0. Summers in Syracuse are beautiful, aren't they? 80 degrees, sun is setting, creating an orange and blue sky. Nothing else you'd want for a Mets game. Mets trail this one 3-0 to the Yankees affiliate. Brendan Beck is tossing a no-hitter through 4 innings. Yanni Hernandez at the plate. First pitch to him is taken for a strike. It's 0-1. Beck has allowed 2 base runners, a walk in the first and a walk in the fourth, but notably, no hits. Full windup, the righty delivers. Tipped foul, rolling towards the blue padded backstop, making it 0-2. The reason why Beck has been throwing a no-hitter is because of how confident he is in his command and how he is keeping Syracuse off balance. He has a black glove to the face, shielding his eyes, and he throws the 0-2 that Yanni takes high and away, ball 1. All 4 of Beck's strikeouts today are on a different pitch: cutter, fastball, splitter, and slider. Infield plays back on Beck's 1-2. Yanni chops it down to first. Brown backhand stop, flips to the no-hitter pitching pitcher, who covers the bag for the first out.
You know, there's a few things we talk about with pitchers that don't overpower you with amazing stuff. They change speeds well with different pitches. They have great location of their pitches, you know, not leaving pitches over the middle of the plate. That's exactly what Beck has done today. If you're the Mets, you're waiting for a mistake, and you have to capitalize when he makes it.
Hasn't made many today as he faces off against Christian Pache. First pitch. The righty flies it down the left field line, but it's foul. Hits the netting right in front of the turf berm down the left field line.
I think it's a sign right there that Pache was thinking maybe he starts off speed here, because Beck isn't the guy that's just fastball, go 0-2, and then puts you away with a slider. He's crafty, so Pache maybe getting a step ahead.
They're trying to read Brendan Beck right now. 0-1 coming. Broken bat, slow roller down to third. Tough play for Hardman. Bare hands, throws to first. Well, he doesn't make it look tough at all. Guns out Pache running down the first base line, and there's quickly 2 outs. Only 61 pitches for Beck, too. I think that's because Syracuse is expecting to see a pitch, right? I mean, you just mentioned it. Beck doesn't throw all that hard, so if you're waiting for a slider and you see one, it's in the zone, you're going to swing and make contact. But Syracuse can't find the holes right now. 2 up, 2 down for Clough, who takes the first pitch strike, 0-1.
And the Mets are far away from any kind of territory of not being in this ball game. It's just a 3-run deficit. You're hitting in the 5th inning. Plenty of room to work.
0-1. Driven deep in the air down the right field line, but it's foul, making it 0-2. The last time Beck pitched against Syracuse was May 13th in this building. 5 innings and 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, 9 strikeouts. He's up to 10 one-hit innings, and the pitch is high, ball 1. Now, the first time he pitched against Syracuse, complete opposite. 8 runs allowed in 5 innings and a third. Beck motors home. Clough pops it up towards the outfield. Oswaldo Cabrera hustles in and secures 5 no-hit innings for Brendan Beck. Scranton still leads at 3-0 as we go to the 6th on the score 1260 in Valley Live.
Just a little bit late, but let's hear it for Noah coming out here and playing along in our great New York State Fair sack race.
The Great New York State Fair starts Wednesday, August 26th, and runs through Labor Day, Monday, September 7th. The fair already has an exciting concert lineup this year. You can check out the full musical lineup and buy your tickets to summer's biggest party at nysfair.ny.gov. Back in the home of the fairgrounds, Syracuse, New York, 3-0 Scranton, top of the 6th. Jack Wenninger's first pitch is blasted by Marco Luciano, landing in left field for a base hit. Luciano rounds first. He's on his way to second. Rudick's throw is late. Stand-up double for Luciano begins the 6th inning.
I got a slider kind of waist high, but a little bit outside. Somewhat surprising that he hit it decently hard. Well, thankfully for Wenninger today, he hasn't been as hit hard as last time out. This has been a much better start. I know he gave up a home run and a triple, but those are the only extra base hits, and there's only been 4 total base hits.
Oswaldo Cabrera steps up with a man in scoring position and no outs. First pitch, he squares to bunt, pulls back, and the pitch is way upstairs, ball 1. It's interesting because Wenninger's each of the 3 last hits that Wenninger has allowed have been extra base hits. RBI triple to Ellis, home run to Ellis, and a double to Luciano. Pitch, inside. Almost hit Cabrera, ball 2. So he's getting tagged right now. But through all of those extra base hits, he's got 3 strikeouts. He's only allowed 1 walk in that span.
Yeah, I mean, 4 total hits through 5 innings. That's really solid.
It's just a couple of pitches he's missing. 2-0. Lands in the zone, a slider, 2-1. Wenninger trying to get to 6 innings. He's only done that once this year. In the stretch, first base side. Here comes the 2-1. Cabrera slow rolls it right side. Yanni Hernandez fields in the hole. Second baseman throws, makes the play, 1 out, and Luciano advances to third. The last time Wenninger made it to 6 innings was May 6th against Rochester. 2 hits, no runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks that day in 88 pitches. Right now he's at 76 pitches. Theoretically could get there if he works quickly in this inning. Infield playing in, trying to keep this at a 3-0 Scranton lead. First pitch to Hardman. Called strike at the knees, 0-1.
I think we're seeing the best version of Wenninger's not best self, if that makes sense. He's not necessarily had his best stuff where he's getting lots of swings and misses, throwing a lot of strikes. That hasn't really been the case today. But he's battling through that and really pitching the best you can under those circumstances.
He throws the 0-1. It skips in the dirt, gloved by Alvarez, 1-1.
It's by getting a lot of soft contact, plays in the infield, soft flyouts, and a few strikeouts as well. He's also only given up 1 walk. That's a big reason why damage has been limited.
Can he keep the damage where it's at? He deals. Hardman hits it off the handle, foul. It's 1-2. Now, this infield has to be careful. They're playing in. Tyler Hardman has the 4th highest exit velocity of any rail rider this week. Averaging a 94-mile-per-hour exit velo. He's got himself 2 solo homers, and he leads the rail riders with 10 total bases. He's been scooting around. 3-0 Rail Riders, top 6. Man at third, 1 out. Wenninger has the pearl behind his back. Comes set. White cleats on the rubber. 1-2. Skips in front of Alvarez, gets away from him, rolls to the dugout, and Alvarez just gets it before it rolls into the Rail Riders dugout. Funny enough, through all of that, Marco Luciano did not advance from third base to home. He could have easily scored on that, but was frozen. He almost came in if that ball trickled down the steps in front of Shelley Duncan.
It's a huge save. You know, a 3-0 ball game versus 4-0 is a lot.
Especially on a non-batted ball. It would have been a wild pitch. Alvarez didn't scoop it, but instead it stays at 3-0 Scranton, and the count is 2-2. Wenninger in the stretch. Lifts and fires. In the dirt, blocked by Alvarez this time, and the count's full.
You'd rather miss with a changeup there than a changeup high. We've seen the 1 or 2 of those get hit. If they're an inch above the zone or high part of the strike zone, you better miss in the dirt.
Wenninger will probably try to keep this pitch low as well. If you walk him, or you induce a ground out. Payoff pitch. Flown foul. Fastball came in at 93 that time, and it was high of the zone. So he's losing a couple of ticks of velo at 82 pitches. The right-hander getting loose for the Mets. Wenninger gets the sign and then steps off. Luciano, the runner at third base after his leadoff double. Made it to third on a ground out to second by Cabrera. Payoff pitch. Skips in the dirt, ball 4. Rolls in front of Alvarez. No chance for Luciano to score. That is a tough walk for Wenninger.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a visit soon. It looks like A.J. Sager waiting on that. And it's not going to be A.J., it's going to be Dick Scott.
Well, that is the Mets manager coming out to take the ball from the Mets starter, who gets to 5 innings and a third, gives up 3 runs, allows 2 base runners in this inning, but he won't make it out of the 5th. So Scranton does its job. It knocks out one of the Mets' top pitching prospects. And it'll be a bullpen day here on out for the Mets. Jack Wenninger gets a round of applause heading to the third base dugout, and we'll talk about who the new arm is for the Mets when we come back. 3-0 Rail Riders with men at first and third with 1 out in the 6th inning. We'll be back in 90 seconds. Ben Simon, the new arm in the game for the Syracuse Mets, replacing Jack Wenninger in the 6th inning. Wenninger gave up a leadoff double to Marco Luciano, got a ground out, but then walked Tyler Hardman, spiking 3 balls in the dirt. It ends Jack's day and brings Ben on the mound. Corners covered with 1 out. And the first pitch to Seth Brown is coming. And here it is. Sliced foul. Ben Simon, the 24-year-old from Princeton, New Jersey. 13th round pick of the Mets back in 2023. Has to work in a little bit of traffic right now. Mets trailing this one 3-0. Simon's 0-1. Change-up in the dirt, ball and a strike. Jack, what did you think of your fellow namesake Wenninger start today?
I thought Wenninger fought really hard. You know, like I mentioned, didn't have his best stuff and his best command. 83 pitches, 43 strikes. It's too close to that 50% mark. You want to be well above that.
Ball and a strike, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Brown comes up empty on the slider, 1-2.
At the same time, he only gave up 4 hits, 2 walks. The second one was the last batter he faced. He's only allowed 3 earned runs to this point. Now the 2 on base are his responsibility if Simon lets him score. But I really thought it was a strong outing for Wenninger pitching into the 6th inning.
Simon hurls. Fastball. Strike 3 at the knees. Beat him with 96. Fastest pitch Scranton seen today. Big time second out, and Jack Wenninger's got to be pumped about that.
That's a big K right there. Ben Simon has good stuff. A lively fastball, mid to high 90s. A guy who's new to this level, too. This is just his 6th AAA outing. He's been pretty sharp.
He's given up 2 earned runs in his last 5 outings. He now faces off against Kennedy Corona. First pitch. Half swing, but it's in the zone anyway. Strike 1, and Corona challenges.
Ball is a strike. Batter is challenging.
And Kennedy
Pitch is a
Corona is
strike.
nowhere close to
Scranton
that one.
has 1 challenge
Now
remaining.
Scranton's lost a challenge. Both teams have 1 remaining. Five walks to 1 strikeout for Ben Simon in AAA. He deals. Swing and a miss. He gets Corona down in an 0-2 hole. With a strikeout in the last plate appearance, it's now 2 Ks to 5 walks. He can make that ratio a little close to even if he can punch out Corona here. First and third, 2 outs. Simon pauses and goes home. Misses low. Fastball at 95. In Double-A this year, Simon 14 appearances, allowed 4 earned runs, 18 Ks to 5 walks. So he proved a little too good for Double-A. 1-2, shipping home. Fastball. Missed. And Alvarez doesn't challenge it. 97 that time from Simon. Wow.
Smart that he didn't. It was within an inch, but outside the strike zone. I mean, that's a great pitch by Ben Simon.
Alvy knows how to frame it. Fooled us up here for sure. 2-2 pitch coming. Ground ball to first. Gloved by Arroyo, who steps on the base in time for the final out. Ben Simon comes in and does not allow a run in the 6th. Best team store in all the land here at NBT Bank Stadium. Hats, shirts, souvenirs, sweatshirts, you name it. I guess maybe not sweatshirts right now. You can probably get those discounted. It's 80 degrees right now. No one's wearing any more layers than they need to.
You know what's kind of perfect? It's been 70s, 80s this week, and then at night it gets down to the low 60s. Open the window up. Perfect.
Joe and Jack Beck with you. Syracuse and Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Rail Riders leading 3-0. The quick change crew changes quickly. Set doesn't take as quickly to change. Slight pause in the action, and now we're good to go. Rudick, Morabito, Polanco do up 9-1-2 against Brendan Beck, who is tossing a no-hitter. First pitch. Skips in the dirt, ball 1. Beck's been fantastic today, as you can imagine. Up to 66 pitches. We understand that the Rail Riders have pitch counts for a lot of their pitchers. That even gets enforced during no-hitters. 1-0. Fastball. Upstairs, 2-0.
Strict pitch counts. Now, Shelley Duncan has had to pull pitchers in the middle of at-bats.
Beck in the windup where he's been most of the day. The 2-0. Inside, ball 3. He has pulled 2 pitchers this week in 2 strike, 2 out counts. Last night, one was against Matt Rudick. The 3-0 is high for ball 4, but Gutierrez challenges.
Catcher is challenging.
Scranton Wilkes-Barre is out of challenges.
Pitches the ball.
That's a good sign right there. 4-pitch walk. Fastball started in the high 80s. And the next couple, 90 and 91. He's a little off to start this 6th inning. Mets have to jump on him.
Matt Rudick, the 3rd man to walk safely to first base today. You can stay safe in life with regular screenings from St. Joseph's Cancer Care. Rudick gets his lead off of first, and here is Nick Morabito. Pitch number 70 for Brennan Beck. Morabito squares, and it bunted off of his foot in the batter's box. Landed in fair territory, but it's called foul, 0-1.
Interested to see if the Mets will run Rudick at all. Abraham Gutierrez is newly called up to this AAA level. Yeah, he's a decently experienced catcher, 26 years old, and he's been around the block, but maybe they test him.
A developmentless catcher in the Yankees system. 0-1. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. The Mets added an organizational catcher to their roster today. He'll only come in emergency situations. His name is Francisco Toledo, a 21-year-old from Venezuela. Was in St. Lucie yesterday and is now in Syracuse here just in case he needs to catch.
Not to be confused with Francisco Syracuse, the starting catcher today. Or you call him Alvarez.
The 0-2. Ripped on the ground to third. Hardman gloves. Throws a second for 1. Over to first. Over the head. Morabito is safe. Rudick, the lead runner, is out, but Scranton cannot turn 2.
All right, so it almost plays like a strikeout or a pop-out there by Morabito. He gets to first safely. 1 out. You still have speed at first base. Not a base hit against Beck, something the Mets are still looking for, but good to have a speedy runner on base with the heart of the order up to bat. Feels like Jorge Polanco is due as well in the course of this rehab.
So that overthrow was by Jonathan Ornelas, who is at second base. Marco Luciano is not in the game. Jorge Polanco digs in. 3rd plate appearance for him. First pitch. is low, ball one. Well, Polanco's still looking for his first hit with Syracuse. 3 rehab games to start this stint with Binghamton, and he proved he was way too good for Double-A as a 13-year big leaguer. The 0-1. Or rather, the 1-0 is down low, 2-0. Polanco went 2 for 5 with a homer and 3 RBIs with the Rumble Ponies. Rehab assignment transferred to Syracuse 3 days ago. Polanco, the switch-hitting lefty, against Beck, the righty. Beck delivers. Polanco way out in front of a slider to make it 2-1. Not only is Polanco looking for his first hit, Syracuse is looking for its first hit. 3-0 Rail Riders in the bottom of the 6th. Brendan Beck has tossed 5 1/3 of no-hit baseball. 2-1. Polanco rips it on the ground. Diving stop, Ornelas throws to first. Are you serious? The no-hitter stays alive on a diving play by newly minted second baseman Jonathan Ornelas in shallow right. 2 down.
Well, Beck's got to be happy about that one. That looked like a surefire base hit, but he dives into the hole and makes the right play. Morabito gets into scoring position, though, for Alvarez.
Never a bad sight. Speedy Morabito at second for Alvy. Beck looks to second and throws home. Down and away, ball one. First rehab game for Alvy on Tuesday, 2 for 3 with 2 doubles, including an RBI double. Brendan Beck, the pitcher, asks Christian Arroyo to stand near the on-deck circle. As you heard, Arroyo apologizes. He's a nice guy. Ball and no strikes to Alvarez. Righty-on-righty matchup. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Oh, if he made contact with that one, look out, scoreboard. 0 for 2 on the day for Alvarez, who is expected to catch 7 innings today. 1-1. Runner goes to third, and Alvarez flies it down the right field line, going towards the seats, and that's where it'll land. Hit and run on, but Alvarez fouled it away, and it's 1-2.
That's a shame because Morabito definitely caught everybody off guard. If you do it a second time, well, maybe the Rail Riders are a little more ready for it.
Time called by Alvarez before the 1-2. Not a bad idea to get Morabito in motion. Infield playing back for the power-hitting catcher. Beck comes set. His 80th pitch, not yet. Spins and fakes the throw to second. I just caught a glimpse of Scooch right outside the Mets dugout. Tapped at his watch for a pitch clock violation, but they don't call it. 4th umpire out there. Beck's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, down on the slider, and Brendan Beck has tossed 6 no-hit innings. To the 7th. Enter for your chance to win the ultimate Chick-fil-A birthday party presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. One lucky winner will receive $500 in Chick-fil-A catering for their birthday celebration, plus a special appearance from the Chick-fil-A cow. The winner will be notified on July 6th, and for details, visit SyracuseMets.com. Top 7, Scranton 3, Syracuse nothing. Big Bad Wolf, Duke Ellis at the plate. First pitch, home run swing comes up empty. 0-1 against Ben Simon. This has been one of Duke Ellis's greatest games of his career. He is 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI triple and an opposite field homer. The 0-1 is a called strike, and he's quickly down 0-2. Ellis is known for his contact and his speed. He's been primarily a pinch runner when he has slotted up to a big league roster. But today, he is the 8-hole hitting slugger. Simon comes set. He deals. And Ellis spoils it foul.
Hey, kind of surprising to see the extra base hits from Ellis, who, like you mentioned, has never had much power. The triple, not as surprising because he's got great speed. Opposite field homer, that's probably one that Jack Wenninger would love to have back.
Ellis shows the bat on the 0-2. Oh, almost hit him. Fastball missed in, and it's 1-2.
And you know what? That solo homer was the only earned run Jack Wenninger has allowed today. So when you factor that in, for Jack Wenninger, 5 1/3, 3 runs, only one of which was earned. Really solid day.
1-2. Fastball in there. Strike 3. Clips the inner third. Ellis walks back to the first base dugout for the first time today as an out victim. And that is the second strikeout for Ben Simon, who came in the 6th inning. Had runners at the corners, 1 out. Struck out Seth Brown and then got a 3 unassisted ground out to Corona. He has looked sharp out of the pen. Here's Gutierrez. First pitch. Outside. Slider, ball 1.
I think it's telling that both his strikeouts are looking on the fastball. He's keeping hitters off the timing, off balance, and painting the corners, too.
He deals. Chopper down to third. Ibanez reads it. Throws over to first. Off the base. Arroyo grabs it, steps on it, and makes the catch for the second out. Well, there have been some tough hops this week, especially those choppers down to third. Ibanez took 3 steps back, looking like a seasoned pro at third base. Now, his throw was a little weak over to first and off target, but Arroyo got off the base to get the ball and then stepped on it for the second out.
Such a challenging play because he had to field it while backpedaling and then threw the ball while his momentum was carrying back towards the outfield.
2 up, 2 down in the top of the 7th. First pitch to Lombard. Down low, ball 1. Yankees affiliate up 3-0 on the Mets affiliate. We will see if Brendan Beck comes out for a 7th inning, because he is tossing a no-hitter. Ben Simon lifts and fires. Fastball high and tight, 2-0. The final line for Wenninger, 5 innings and a third, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 3 Ks, 3 walks. The line for Beck, 6 no-hit innings with 5 Ks and 3 walks. The pitch stays high, and it's ball 3. We expected a pitcher's duel when he came into this game. And just like you had talked about, Jack, Wenninger with only 1 earned run, that's a positive based on what we've seen over his last 3 outings. I don't know if we had a no-hitter in our minds today. Simon deals, and Lombard takes ball 4. He has walked for the 32nd time in 33 AAA games.
Designated hitter number 24, your Taco Bell K-Man, Jason Dominguez.
And Speedy Lombard is at first. The Yankees' top prospect. Clears home plate for a former Yankees top prospect, Jason Dominguez, down on Major League rehab. First pitch. Dominguez tops it foul, 0-1. Jason Dominguez signed for $8 million as the top international free agent of the New York Yankees. Time is called on a foul ball that rolled down the first baseline. Beg your pardon, $5 million, not $8 million, $5 million. 5.1 to be exact. The Yankees had $5.4 million for that season. 0-1. Fouled away, hit off of Alvarez's mask, so it's 0-2.
A highly scrutinized and polarizing Yankee prospect. Nothing for off the field, just as a player with very, very high expectations. Like you said, over $5 million he signed for. He has, throughout his entire minor league career, been expected to come up and really be a Major League All-Star caliber player. That hasn't quite happened yet, but he's still so young.
The 23-year-old in the left-handed batter's box. Awaits the 0-2 pitch from Simon. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gun down to first. Well, you don't need it. That's the final out of the inning. Dominguez down swinging on a fastball. It's stretch time here in Syracuse. Christian Arroyo leads off for the Syracuse Mets in the bottom of the 7th. He is the ABM Industries cleanup hitter of the game. ABM, the preferred janitorial services provider of the Syracuse Mets. And Jack, he's got quite a big job right now to try and end a no-hitter against Brendan Beck. He has tossed 6 no-hit innings with his team up 3-0.
Yeah, you sure don't want to be on this end of history. You want to be the team that's throwing a no-hitter, not being no-hit. And, well, the Mets, we've talked about, when they see a starting pitcher 2 or 3 times, they tend to get the advantage. Maybe the 3rd time around works for Arroyo.
First pitch, the righty slugger takes high, ball 1. 2 times this year, Beck has allowed only 1 hit in a start. Opening day in Buffalo was one of them. 1-0 is outside, ball 2. And most recently, May 13th against Syracuse, where he pitched 5 innings and 2/3 of 1-hit baseball. 2-0. Arroyo takes a slider that grooves into the zone, 2-1.
It felt like the Mets kind of had him in the 6th inning. It started with a leadoff walk on 4 pitches. Command was off, but he battled after that.
Beck throws. Broken bat floater over to the right side, caught by Ornelas. And that's the first out of the 7th inning. Let's send things down to the 3rd member of our team. Here is Brendan Miller.
Joe, I'll be honest, you just ruined my hit. I was going to tell you all about Brendan Beck and the fact that just a few weeks ago he went 5 2/3 innings, giving up just the 1 hit and striking out 9 against these Mets earlier on in the season. This is not completely unheralded territory for him, though. Back in 2025, in July of that month, he went 6 innings complete without allowing a hit. So this now, with that 1 out, is his furthest into a no-hitter that he has gotten. See if he can maybe... Well, if these offense can maybe close things out for the Mets.
Well, Andy Ibanez can't do it that time as he grounds out to George Lombard Jr., 2 away. I mean, he's getting his gloves to help him out behind him. He's got an excellent pitch mix, and it just feels like Syracuse is just a beat off of guessing what these pitches are.
Yeah, just nothing's getting squared up right now, and a big reason why he's not giving the Mets a lot of pitches to hit. Yeah, sometimes the Mets can take advantage of a pitch that's 1 or 2 inches outside the zone and beat bad ball hitters. Beck throws a lot of those pitches that are just painted around the edges of the strike zone. They're not getting hit today.
3-0 Rail Riders, bottom of the 7th. Here's Yanni trying to end it, and he takes high, ball 1. The question is going to be, how long is this leash? He's at 87 pitches. The 1-0. Taken for a strike. Yanni thought it was going to hit him. It's 1-1. There is some motion in Scranton Wilkes-Barre's bullpen. Not sure if someone's getting loose just yet. 1-1 offering. Fouled away.
We do know that Scranton follows these pitch counts very, very closely. I would be really surprised if Beck gets out of this inning. I'd be really surprised if he came back out for the next one.
He's got Hernandez in a 1-2 hole with nobody on and 2 outs. Beck looking for 7 no-hit innings. The pitch. Spoiled foul.
When was the last time you saw a starting pitcher in the minor leagues throw 100 pitches?
Jeez, I don't
I
know
know,
if
right?
I can recall.
I can't think of one myself. Nobody does that.
Yeah, it's just not a thing anymore. 1-2. Fastball upstairs. 2-2. Back in the old days of the International League, guys would throw 100 pitches like it was nothing. 2-2. Foul to back. Right now, Beck is at 92 pitches. And I bet you if Shelley Duncan does one of his mid-inning pitching changes here with 2 strikes and 2 outs, he will be viciously booed by these fans, both Yankees and Mets fans. Can he get out of the inning? 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7 no-hit innings for Brendan Beck.
Stream SNY and SNY Mets games this season on the MLB app. Featuring all the amazing action with an enhanced viewing experience, streaming is free to fans with SNY as part of their paid TV package. Also available for purchase as part of a subscription. Download the MLB app and stream SNY today. New pitcher on the mound in the top of the 8th inning for Syracuse. It is Adbert Alzolay, his first AAA appearance since 2024. He faces Jonathan Ornelas to lead off. And the righty fires. First pitch is taken outside, ball 1. Mets trail the Rail Riders 3-0, and the headline tonight, there being no hit. Brendan Beck has pitched 7 scoreless innings so far. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off speed. The big thing for Scranton, Brendan Beck has thrown a season-high 93 pitches. Big question whether he goes out for the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 is lifted in the air left field. It sends Rudick back to the warning track up against the wall, and that ball's gone. And his first at-bat of the day, Jonathan Ornelas tees off. Solo homer makes it 4-0.
Well, that's a tough introduction for Adbert Alzolay. Guy who has missed a ton of time with elbow surgery, was a prominent member of the Cubs bullpen back in 2024, missed all of last season and is signed with the Mets just this past year. Yeah, that's not a great introduction.
Now he faces Oswaldo Cabrera, first pitch a strike, fastball at 92. A 1 count with nobody out, top of the 8th inning. Mets trail the Rail Riders 4-0 on a really nice Friday night at NBT Bank Stadium. Alzolay set, and he throws home. Cabrera takes a called strike, 0-2. Alzolay signed a minor league deal with the Mets in January while recovering from Tommy John surgery that he underwent in August of 2024. Missed all of last season and the beginning of this year. Back up to the AAA level. Wave and a miss on the 0-2. He strikes out Cabrera. So that's the best way to bounce back from the home run. 3-pitch strikeout.
And Alzolay's been in the big leagues. He's faced failure before. This is nothing new to him. But, it's good to see that after that home run, he gets a strikeout and shows, yeah, I'm a big league caliber arm. I just got to get my way back there.
Alzolay 6 major league seasons, all with the Cubs, starting in 2019. First pitch to Hardman. Fouled back. 0-1. Third pitcher of the day for the Syracuse Mets is Adbert Alzolay. He replaces Ben Simon, who was really sharp today. 5 outs, no hits, no runs, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Simon is becoming a weapon out of this Mets pen, easily going 4 and 5 outs each time he pitches.
And Simon was doing this in Double-A this year, too. So to see that transition to Triple-A go just as swimmingly is impressive. I was mostly happy with the fact that he finished with 3 strikeouts to 1 walk. Finally, a plus in the K to walk ratio.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. That's taken for a called strike 3. And Alzolay strikes out back-to-back Rail Riders. So after the home run by Ornelas, he strikes out Cabrera, puts away Hardman, and it brings up the left-handed hitting Seth Brown, who's 0 for 2 today. First pitch. That's taken low and outside, ball 1. Jack Wenninger got the start today, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of which was earned. Walked 2 and struck out 3. After him, 5 outs from Ben Simon. Now Adbert Alzolay, his first game as a Syracuse Met. 1-0 is taken at the knees, called strike. Alzolay from the first base side of the rubber. Black jersey, blue number 73 on his back. 1-1 pitch. That's taken low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Two 2-1 pitch. Brown hits it softly on the ground. Foul. 2-2.
The Mets bullpen since May 25th has had the 5th worst ERA in the International League, which seems shocking because it feels like the Mets have had some good bullpen outings as of late.
I feel like that's the key. As of late, I think the Rochester series probably affected
really hurt them.
A lot of late runs in that. 2-2 is flared foul.
But the addition of Alzolay might allow this bullpen to have a little bit more consistency and to keep this good thing rolling since Rochester is in the rearview mirror. This bullpen has looked fairly solid.
Compared to years past, it's also been a pretty similar group. There hasn't been a ton of turnover. 2-2 bounces low. It felt like last year the New York Mets utilized more of a system where they had 11 or 12 bullpen arms at any given time and just cycled them through AAA. This year, Austin Warren's been up for a while. Joey Gerber up and down. Not a ton of arms have gone up for long stretches. 3-2 is just inside ball 4. Mets thought it was strike 3, but a changeup misses inside.
Left fielder number 2, Kennedy.
So with 2 away, Seth Brown works the walk. It brings up Kennedy Corona, who's 0 for 3. Alzolay has had a pretty extensive major league career. 31-year-old from Venezuela. Pitched over 120 games in the big leagues. Slider drops in for a strike. Also pitching to a new catcher on the Syracuse Mets side. Francisco Alvarez on Major League rehab, caught 7 innings today, and now Kevin Parada is behind the dish. 0-1. Swing and a miss, chasing the slider. Alzolay ahead 0-2. Parada with the camo gear on the black jerseys. That's a good look.
Yeah, Parada's been rolling with the camo gear ever since he got up here to Syracuse and matches the black best.
No balls and 2 strikes. Alzolay ahead. 2 away, runner at first. Mets trailing 4-0 in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Popped up foul, out of play. I loved your interview with Kevin Parada today. Played it on the radio side, and it's on our social media, Syracuse Mets radio account. Go take a listen. Very candid. I loved how he talked about catching. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Parada, obviously former first-round pick. He's gone through a lot of trials and tribulations in the minor leagues, but through these first 10 and 11 games at AAA, he has looked the part, and it was cool to hear his thoughts on why that's the case.
0-2 taken below the knees for a ball.
His approach at the plate has been very simple, but behind the plate, he's been even sharper. A guy who has caught his entire life. You don't really hear guys continue to catch in Little League, continue to catch all the way through. Sometimes they grow out of it, and Parada hasn't done that yet.
1-2 pitch. That's pulled foul, left side. With the New York Mets, defense is the priority behind the plate. Look at the top 3 catchers in the organization. Luis Torrens, Francisco Alvarez, and Hayden Sanger. There are no slouches on defense. That's why Hayden Sanger has a big league job right now. He's fantastic behind the plate. And Kevin Parada has improved behind the dish year over year. A ball and 2 strikes. Alzolay set. He fires. High fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He was one of the best collegiate catchers when he was at Georgia Tech. He got drafted because his bat was top-notch, but behind the plate, got extensive reps pretty much every single day for the Yellow Jackets as their best player.
2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3, a full count, but Parada challenges.
Call is a ball. Catcher is challenging.
Is it ball 3 or strike 3? How about strike 3? Kevin Parada steals a strikeout. 3 of them for Adbert Alzolay. Bottom of the 8th is next. Mets try to break up a no-hitter, trailing 4-0. Really beautiful night at NBT Bank Stadium. Kind of an ugly day for the Mets offense, and it's been because of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre pitching staff. Most notably, Brendan Beck, who's tossed 7 scoreless innings, but he's replaced by Carson Coleman. So Beck threw a season-high 93 pitches. Can't toss any further in this one. So the Rail Riders put Carson Coleman into the ballgame, 28-year-old from Lexington, Kentucky. First pitch into Christian Pache, outside, ball 1. So it's 7 no-hit innings by the Rail Riders. Let's see if Pache and the Mets offense can break that up. 1-0. Swing and a miss, chasing a low fastball. 1-1 the count. 18th appearance of the season for Carson Coleman. 4.15 ERA on the year. 1-1. Pache lays off a curveball low and away. Mets have seen Carson Coleman plenty of times this year. This is the 6th matchup between the Mets and Coleman. Syracuse got to him last time out. 2-1 pitch. Pache grounds it to second. Ornelas charges. Fields with 2 hands. Flicks to first and gets the first out. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Mets are still being no-hit, but facing a pitcher that they had 1 hit, 3 runs, and 2 earned runs against on Tuesday. That brings up Jackson Clough. 0 for 2 on the night. Mets down 4-0. The pitch. That's taken up high. 1-0 the count on Jackson Clough facing a new pitcher. Joe Brendan Beck was as good as it gets today.
Seriously.
1-0 is a called strike, even count.
I mean, there's really no other way to put it. 7 innings, no hits, no runs, 6 Ks, 3 walks, and it felt like those walks were long at-bats worked by Syracuse that could have gone either way.
1-1 pitch. Clough spears it foul, 1-2. So now he paves the way for a Scranton Wilkes-Barre bullpen that's second in the International League with a 3.66 ERA and first with an opponent batting average of 199. 1-2. Clough takes, called strike 3. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 8th. Rail Riders are just 4 outs away from a no-hitter.
And here's the thing. If they want the no-hitter to continue, Carson Coleman might be the best option. Against Syracuse this year, Carson Coleman has held hitters to a 3 for 20 mark with now 8 strikeouts.
Well, Matt Rudick was the one with the walk-off RBI single last night. Can he break up a no-hitter here? First pitch, hard, cut and a miss on a fastball, 0-1. Mets have had a few base runners, but all walks today. 0-1 pitch. Rudick swings and misses, same high fastball, it's 0-2. Well, if Coleman can put away Rudick, it'll be the top of the order. Nick Morabito to lead it off. He's in the on-deck circle right now, but we're not expected to see Francisco Alvarez. Kevin Parada would hit in that spot. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, a 3-pitch strikeout. It puts the Mets just 3 outs away from getting no hit. The 9th on a gorgeous Friday evening in Syracuse. Lenny Dykstra's at the ballpark.
That is a sick jersey.
That is cool. That's a great throwback. All right, Alfredi Gomez is on the bump, set to face Duke Ellis, Abraham Gutierrez, and George Lombard Jr., 8, 9, and 1 in the Rail Riders order.
Do you like the old stripes that the Mets had on their jerseys?
Love it.
Me too.
First pitch from Gomez. Ellis squares to bunt, and O'Frady makes the catch. Oh, what an awesome basket catch by Gomez. 1 pitch and 1 out. Pitchers are athletes too.
He had to scramble off the mound there. If that ball lands, Ellis is on. So Gomez sprints off the mound, makes the basket catch. He helps himself out.
Joey joke all the time. Anytime there's a pop fly in the infield, tell the pitcher to get the heck out of the way. That time, very helpful that Gomez actually went after it. 1 away in the 9th. Mets trail by 4. Here's Gutierrez. First pitch. Gomez steals a fastball away. 1-0. Also, the big story in this one tonight, Mets are being no-hit through 8 innings. 7 innings of Brendan Beck, and the 8th inning from Carson Coleman. 1 ball and no strikes. Gomez is set. He fires home. Gutierrez slaps it foul. 1-1. The Mets' offense has just been few and far between. 3 walks. It feels like they've only been close to a hit maybe once today.
It's weird.
1-1 pitch. Ground ball hit in between short and third. Gutierrez runs into a hit. It's a ground ball single into left field.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, George Lombard.
You know what the surprising part is, Joe? I mean, Mets scored 13 runs in Game 2 on Wednesday. They had 3 yesterday. It wasn't a barrage, but they got into it when they needed. 2-run homer by Arroyo. Good situational hitting in the 9th. Today has been none of that.
Yeah, I've looked in my book, and there's really only 3 instances where I see they could have gotten a hit and didn't have one.
Here's George Lombard Jr. 0 for 3 with a walk today. Gomez set, and he tosses home. Lombard swings and misses through a fastball, 0-1.
Morabito had that line out to start the game at third.
Yeah.
Then Christian Arroyo grounded one to third, diving stop by Hardman. And then in the 6th inning, Jorge Polanco had that ground ball to second that got fielded in shallow right center. I mean, that was destined to be a hit.
0-1 pitch. Lombard takes a strike. Gomez fires in a fastball, 0-2. Well, the commonality between all three of those, they're all in the infield. Mets haven't barreled up anything today. Honestly, the hardest hit baseball might be that Morabito line drive to start the game.
They have one fly ball to the outfield. One fly out.
Wow.
That's crazy. 2 flyouts to the outfield.
0-2. Lombard takes the ball outside. Okay, so it looks like the hardest hit balls today. Fly out. Jackson Clough hit a ball 106 foul.
Of course.
Andy Ibanez grounded out 99 miles an hour. So that was the Ibanez one that you were talking about. Other than that, nothing too hard. This one's launched hard down the left field line, but it's hooked foul.
All right, let me hit refresh on this exit velocity list.
All right, we don't need to look at these guys' exit velocity. That was 110 off the bat of Lombard.
Wow.
Alfredi Gomez, solid start to this inning. Got Duke Ellis to pop out on the bunt attempt. Gutierrez singles, but he's ahead 1-2 on George Lombard. O'Frady with the bright red glove. Holds it right near his face. Now tucks the baseball in it right above his belt and throws. Fouled back, went off speed. O'Frady Gomez has a 6.28 earned run average. And on paper, you wouldn't say, oh, that's awesome. Well, it was just a few weeks ago. Gomez's ERA was over 10. But he's pitched 5 consecutive scoreless innings and has really found a rhythm.
Becoming a dependable arm.
A ball and 2 strikes. Gomez flings it home. Lombard takes a bouncing slider, 2-2, and a good stop by Kevin Parada. Last 3 outings for Gomez, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, just 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Gomez, the hard-throwing righty. Fires the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He blew 96 right by him, and there's 2 away.
I think there has been more confidence with his fastball. He throws hard.
Yeah.
Hasn't had the command with it to start the season. Spent a long time on the development list, which proves that the fastball isn't working, but it has been working during this scoreless stretch.
Rail Riders pinch hitter with Jason Dominguez on rehab. He gets 4 at-bats, and now Ernesto Martinez Jr. steps up to the plate for his first AB today. 2 away, top of the 9th. Mets trailing 4-0 against the Rail Riders. Gomez throws home. Lifted foul, third base side, out of play. When the Mets come to hit in the bottom of the 9th, Nick Morabito will lead off. Jorge Polanco, also on big league rehab, is expected to get a 4th at-bat today. And then in the Francisco Alvarez spot, that will most likely be Kevin Parada. A 1 pitch. Fouled back. Gomez ahead 0-2.
Now, what do you think the conversation's going to be with John Nagowski and Nate Irving on that bench? Just do your same approach and the ball bounce your way?
The good thing is, you mentioned the numbers against Carson Coleman this year, not great, but they've seen him 6 times now. They got a couple runs off of him early in the week. Those are the pros. 0-2 pitch. Martinez Jr. grounds it foul. And you have, 3 very professional hitters coming to bat. And maybe you get to bunt attempt by Morabito.
Yeah.
I don't know where you stand on that. A lot of people don't love that during a no-hitter, but hey, do anything you can.
Hey, from the Mets perspective, you got to get on and start something.
Absolutely.
I don't care what unwritten rules you're breaking.
Right. 0-2 from Gomez. That's fouled back off of Parada's mask. And he'll walk this one off. Oh, a guy that's been a catcher his entire life. Dick Scott, Austin Dayton head athletic trainer, out to talk to him. Joe, you interviewed him earlier today. He said the only position that his mom told him when he was little that he couldn't play was catcher. And, he took he took the other route.
You're supposed to listen to your mother, but Kevin Parada is so gifted behind the plate, I think this is one that his mom will let slide. It's worked out for the Parada family since then.
You know, it's funny. There are certain catchers that you watch play and you're like, that guy's been a catcher since he was 7 years old.
Yeah, Kevin's one of those when I watch him play.
Yeah. I get that feeling watching Ali Sanchez, too, who's been a Met and a Rail Rider. 0-2 pitch. That's outside, ball one.
I think you can tell because there's such command and confidence back there.
Yeah.
You can't show a lack of confidence behind the plate because that'll affect your pitcher.
Yeah, the person that needs the ultimate confidence. Rail Riders pitchers have had plenty of that today. No hitting the Mets. 1-2. That's inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see if Carson Coleman goes back out for his second inning. He's had a couple days off in between. And in the 8th, Coleman only needed 11 pitches. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. Gomez throws home. Inside, ball 3. Can't locate the slider. Full count. Jonathan Ornelas waits on deck. The man that hit the solo homer off of Adbert Alzolay. 3-2. Runner takes off, and it's twisted foul. Long at bat by Martinez Jr. 8 pitches so far. Game 5 of the series here in Syracuse. Mets and Rail Riders have split the first 4, 2 apiece. Season series leaning the Mets' way still, though. 9-6. Payoff again. That's taken. Oh, and it just missed the strike zone. A little high with a slider. Gomez couldn't drop it in. A ball 4 puts runners at first and second base. With Ornelas coming to bat. 2 down, top 9.
A 9-pitch at bat for a pitcher like Ofredi Gomez is tough because that could be either a half or a third of the pitches you throw in a whole outing.
We'll see if he can bounce back against Ornelas and give his offense a chance in the bottom of the 9th. 2 on, 2 out. Mets trail it by 4. And the first pitch is inside, 1-0. Parada couldn't find it at first and finally located it. So for Gomez, 5 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. See if he can hold on to that. Spins and looks at second. Gutierrez dives back.
I'm just eager to see the Mets hit.
I know.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seat right now waiting for the bottom of the 9th.
Don't want to be on the wrong end of a no-hitter. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball hit sharply to short. Clough fields, flips to second, gets out number 3. Picture perfect night at NBT Bank Stadium for everything but the Syracuse Mets offense today. It's a 4-0 deficit, and the Mets are being no-hit. Nick Morabito will lead off the bottom of the 9th against Carson Coleman, and we'll find out whether the Mets get no hit for the first time since 2019. First pitch. Broken back grounder. It's fielded off of a hop by Brown. He taps first, and there's 1 away. Syracuse just 2 outs away from Scranton making history.
So the last time that Syracuse was no-hit offensively, August 7th, 2019, they actually scored a run in that game, a 2-1 loss to the Durham Bulls. Last time Scranton threw a no-hitter in 9 innings, July 21st, 2021, an 8-0 win at home over Rochester, but they threw a no-hitter in 7 innings a month later.
First pitch to Jorge Polanco, taken all the way, and he gets ball 1. So the Mets trailing by 4, but the bigger question, can they break up the no-hitter? The pitch. That's in for a strike. 1-1 count. Jorge Polanco 0 for 2 with a walk today. He came very close to one earlier this game. 1-1. Polanco lays off a low curveball. 2 balls and a strike. It's the 6th time this season the Syracuse Mets have seen Carson Coleman, the reliever on the mound, in his 2nd inning of work. It's been 4 up, 4 down. Taken inside, ball 3. 7 no-hit innings by Brendan Beck. Carson Coleman trying to guide the Rail Riders past the finish line. 3-1 pitch. Polanco takes ball 4. Fastball outside. So with 1 out, Jorge Polanco works his 2nd walk of the game, and it brings up Kevin Parada.
Number 26, Kevin Parada.
Polanco's safe at first base. You can stay safe in life, too, with regular screenings from St. Joseph's Cancer Care.
Well, on a day where Syracuse has no hits, Jorge Polanco working 2 walks is a pretty good offensive production from him.
Here's Parada. First pitch. He's swinging. Grounded to short. Lombard fields. Flips to second. Gets one. Throw to first is in time. And the Rail Riders toss a combined no-hitter. The Syracuse Mets on the wrong end of history. It's a gem by the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders in a 4-0 Mets loss.
Fans, that'll do it from the stadium tonight. The final score, Scranton Wilkes-Barre 4, Syracuse nothing. The Rail Riders get 4 runs on 6 hits and no errors. The Mets, no runs, no hits, and 1 error. It's a combined no-hitter for the Rail Riders.
7 innings of Brendan Beck, 2 innings of Carson Coleman for the first Rail Riders no-hitter since 2021, and the worst day of Mets offense since 2019.
These days don't happen often. It's so funny how baseball works. Syracuse on a 2-game win streak. They had 13 runs on 10 hits 2 days ago. And this game can humble you in 48 hours.
It sure did tonight. A 4-0 Mets loss. Syracuse, no hit by Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Brendan Beck and Carson Coleman combine for history on Friday, June 5th of 2026. We'll be back after a short break for our Visit Syracuse postgame show. We'll recap it and, well, not a lot of highlights on the other side of the break. It's a 4-0 Syracuse loss as the Mets get no hit by the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Joe Puccio, Jack Gordon with you for the Visit Syracuse postgame show. And Joe, there's not a lot more you can say other than that the Rail Riders just dominated today on the pitching side of things with Brendan Beck and Carson Coleman.
Baseball is a gentleman's game. There's a lot of hat tipping for a reason, and you just got to tip your cap to the Rail Riders today. Brendan Beck made his major league debut in early May. Carson Coleman has been one of the best Yankees closing options over the last 3 years in their system. And there was opportunities today for Syracuse to get hits, but not a lot of barrels, not a lot of balls hit to the outfield. And so if you keep rolling the ball on the ground, that's going to happen.
Even with a couple of major league rehabbers in the lineup today, Jorge Polanco, Francisco Alvarez, Mets still couldn't get it done. On the pitching side of things, Jack Wenninger got the start for Syracuse today, and it was a solid one.
Yeah, 1 earned run allowed. Wenninger's last 3 outings weren't the Jack Wenninger that we've known to see. So he had a couple of strikeouts today, got deep into the ball game. I think Jack Wenninger's back on the right track.
Today, but not enough. A 4-0 Syracuse loss against Scranton Wilkes-Barre as the Mets get no hit for the first time since 2019, and for the Rail Riders, first since 2021. Brendan Beck, Carson Coleman combined for 9 innings of history. Well, that's it for tonight, a 4-0 Mets loss, but we'll be back at it tomorrow. Saturday, 6:35 p.m., Adam Kloffenstein will be on the bump for the Rail Riders, and Jack Weisenberger on the mound for Syracuse. Until then, so long for Syracuse. So long from Syracuse. Joe Puccio, Jack Gordon, signing off from NBT Bank Stadium.